Good morning, everyone. Well, today and tomorrow we have some rather interesting feasts. Today we have the feast of St. Monica, who was the mother of St. Augustine. And tomorrow we have the feast of St. Augustine. So the two are quite linked. Now, she was an interesting lady because St. Augustine was not a very nice guy when he was younger. He was a womanizer and he was one of the boys and didn't really take it very seriously. I'll talk a little bit more about him tomorrow, but St. Monica, for most of her life, prayed for his conversion from immorality and for spiritual confusion that he had. And her persistence continued through the most of his life, to the extent that St. Augustine actually came around and did convert. And we'll talk a little bit more about them tomorrow. But she was a wonderful example of a Christian mother who was so intent on getting her woeful child, her very disturbed and confused child, back on the path. And I think some of the parents of you who are out there listening today would sort of say, yeah, I feel that way. I pray for my kids because I don't know what it is that they're following. I've done the right thing and they're not following. And all we can do is look to St. Monica and take the example and continue to pray that they will come back. And I think the important thing too there is that St. Monica gave a great example. You know, it's very important, the importance, the relevance of parental responsibility. That parental responsibility has got to be based within a religious foundation. Because within life, where do we get our values from? On what do we base our values? Do we base it on popularity? Do we base it on striving for recognition? Do we base it on finances and wealth? Because the important thing is, whatever we do, children will imitate. You say, so hang on, but they didn't learn that from me. Yeah, they imitate up to a certain level from us. And then after that, we can only continue to live the right example and pray that our kids will continue to follow that. We cannot say one thing and do the other. Jesus again uses that word alas. He says, alas, you hypocrites. I'm not suggesting that you're hypocrites, but sometimes we might say one thing but do something else. That essentially is hypocrisy. Do we believe in Jesus, or are we just paying lip service to him? Because that's hypocrisy. And so we just need to make sure that we're honest with ourselves and make sure that we're honest with those who are following our example. Have a wonderful day. Keep yourself safe. God bless. Bye-bye.